Here we are, everybody. Silver Smashers versus Mithril Knights. Game number 3 of the night. Let's see some support for everybody in the Twitch chat. I may not know who is. But I know. Oh, that's really messed up, Cobalt. That's messed up. I don't appreciate that. It's funny. It's funny. I want everyone to know that it's an inside joke and it's funny, but it's messed up. All right.
I'm not going to repeat it. After.
All right, we have our first bans from either team here. Tom Kench and Viego taken off the board. And I respect that. I think that Tom Kench is a very powerful champion. We saw him earlier tonight. He's strong. So I respect getting that out of the way. Syndra, I'm just going to throw it out there. Another Bjergsen special does play a mean Syndra if this is in fact TSM Bjergsen, but it probably isn't because he actually ended playing on Team Liquid, so it'd be TL Bjergsen. I'm just going to throw it out there. Ornn and Xerath also taking it. Wow, that second into third round went real quick on the bans, didn't
Somebody
it?
Somebody knows what they want.
Yeah, or what they don't want.
It looks like we have some targeted bans going out for this TSM Bjergsen player here. That's why I tried to call it out a little bit earlier, because they're going to be dealing with the same information I have with this OPGG, and that makes a lot of sense.
There goes the Leo. Sorry, I'm laughing at Bidoof putting Cobalt in a 1-second timeout. I think that's really, really funny.
He deserved it.
All right, the Ashe is locked in. I learned something new about Ashe's passive. I knew about two things. Number one, that crits did not deal bonus damage, but instead slowed. But what I didn't know is that every attack to a target that has the slow applied increases in damage. So that's your crit, is if you attack the same target. That's why she ends up dealing so much damage, is because it increases if they're affected with the passive. So really, really cool. A very popular pick. The amount of control you have with it, good stuff.
The Zyrakan, love to see it. Finally get a Lover's Lane in the PLC. Is this the first time we're seeing that in PLC?
I don't think so. If it isn't, it's only like the second time. It's not a common lock-in.
A pretty good pick from the Nautilus to be able to help lock people down. So, kind of the opposite from what happened from our last game. Is the first thing to show up was our bot lane, and I think that's because our pocket pick is going to be coming from our Masters player in the mid lane.
Yeah, you want to last pick that.
Yeah, so that's probably what's going on. At least on Mithril Knights, but let's see what's happening on the Silver Smasher side. What are they going to want to pick? Yep, that's probably...
I'm going to throw it out there. That's another Bjergsen pick.
Mid lanes. Yeah.
I don't want to cause any problems here, but I tell you what, I'm excited. Ooh. I love watching Bjergsen. Okay. So, Admin, you know someone who loves to play Orianna. I think that Orianna is a classic. She's been around forever. She has high damage. What's that?
I know who you're referring to, and he was playing it last night, and I was watching it, and yeah, he still got it.
I love that.
I do like to see good Orianna play.
I think she is almost always a good pick. She's got the safety of the movement speed from her W and the shield from her E. She's got good damage. She's got AoE. She's got high, everything about her is just a good pick. It's safe to blind and it's good into almost everything. So I love seeing the Orianna picks. But now we're pinching junglers here. Ivern taken out as well as the Wukong. Do we see, okay, now that's an interesting one because that's a flexible. Mostly he's top lane anymore, but yeah, I like to think he's a flex.
Yeah, so we got... Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what we're going to be looking at now as we get into these final picks. What are they going for that final ban? Because they're trying to ban out the top lane a little bit more. Yeah, I guess
the engage.
Lock down the jungle a little bit as well.
It's the longer range engage, right? You have Vi's QR to get onto the carry, and you can't stop that. because when she's in the cease and desist, she's unstoppable. And then Wukong being invisible, jump ulting, like you have a lot of ways to set up fights there. And so I like the safety granted by those two bans.
Kenshin picks up the Jax, likely to be going into the jungle or top lane.
I like Jax in the top. I think that he's really strong there. You utilize your passive a lot more, taking down the turrets. The passive and the ultimate, right? You get that third auto attack, and you really start to push the lanes. I think the way the champion is designed, he just does better there. He is a strong jungler, and I won't deny that, but I think he's better off in a lane where he can take turrets. Kennen lock in though. I love Kennen. Oh, but you'll be excited about that one if it locks in. I
do like Kindred.
Let's see it. Do we have to lock in and a timer?
I judge people who play Kindred who don't get stacks. Oh yes. Make me proud. There's a trick to it. And it's not just get kills. But yeah, I do really like the metagame around playing around the Kindred stacks and the Kindred marks. So it's something I enjoy. I also like to see Urgot being played as well. Also, this overlay really, really works for that Xayah Rakan together in that, in that configuration. It looks really good.
Also, it is the Jax in the jungle. So I was wrong about that. But again, Jack's very strong. He's got good ganks. He's got crowd control.
I think it was probably something that they had the chance to flex as much as they wanted for it, because Jax could do both. It's what were they going to pick against the Kennen? They figured out Kennen. Okay, Kennen's going top. We're going to pick this against it. They did get that last pick for it. And if anything, Jax could hold his own, and you pick something against Kindred in the jungle. So very interesting draft from our teams, and yeah, I like where this is going. What we're gonna see, we're very solid. It's a decent engage. I don't think I'd say very solid engage, but if you get Rakan to be able to run in with the quickness with an Orianna ball, you can make some things happen.
Absolutely. And especially with the amount of range that Rakan has for that engage, you have to be careful that you don't extend too far out of Orianna's control if you do have the ball on you. But the fact is, you can, with Xayah especially, if Rakan is on the bottom of the river, okay, just on the border of the lane and the river, that extended battle dance range into the grand entrance, he could be all the way past the dragon pit at one of those points. Like, it's crazy how far away he can be and start that engage, especially running with the quickness, having that extra movement speed. So EJ Crafter has to be careful, has to make sure that he's behind this big front line of the Galio Nautilus and not getting hit by that, because the damage sources from Silver Smashers are squishy and separated. You want to see Figure, I think. Yeah, Frag Mr. X is what you're supposed to say, that one. Frag, we'll call him Frag. So Frag has to be getting those flanks, right? Kennen is not just run at you and kill you champion. He's wanting to come around the side.
He's Mr. X on
we'll call him that.
On Star GG. So Frag or Mr. X.
Okay.
Frag is a little bit faster though, so we might be going with that. But we got called out in the Twitch chat that the engage from Silver Smashers is a lot better. They can throw in with the Kennen ult than the Galio ult. T-Van calls out, how are they going to get to Ashe and Kindred? How are we going to get to those damage dealers? And they'll be able to just pump out a lot of damage. Both of them have ways to attack very fast.
I'll give you that. And, T-Van has a really good point. That front line is very strong. Trying to get through those two to a carry, as long as Crafter is on that backside, I agree. And the way that Silver Smashers can set up fights is a little bit easier. The range on the dredge line is pretty high, and especially if Galio's able to get that heroic entrance right on top as he locks in on a carry, that the flash range isn't enough. And even if you can even get it off, because you have the auto attack route from the Nautilus as well, that's a pretty killer combo.
And we're now just about to start loading into the Rift. Predictions? I don't know. We haven't seen these teams before. We're doing our best to figure out what's going on, but right now we're looking at the person to watch is TSM Bjergsen.
I will agree with that. And I want to say that the double marksman from Silver Smashers is going to be effective in the lane pushing game, but honestly, you can't beat a Jax. He destroys turrets so easily and so quickly that I don't think that you can really match that. And so that's something I think Mithril Knights will have on their side, is their ability to shove lanes and take care of those and get objectives that way. But we are on to game number 3. Got our invade here from the side. Ooh, wow.
Wanted that.
Slypie was ready.
Yes. All right.
Look at the vision from Mithril Knights, though.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time. I'll go back to the lane.
Well, we have some vision scores before minions spawned admin. That should make you happy.
Yes, I am already really happy with some. We got 2 bunch of wards going down, and we got the deep ward from from the Silver
that's
Smasher.
cute.
That's the.
Oh, do they dance together too?
Yeah, they dance together.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love the fact that they built a couple into League of Legends. I think it's really cute.
Yeah, they have separate dances, but then they can also have a dance together. It's one of my favorite things. I like playing Recon. It's great.
First engage here. Slypie goes on to Kenshin. Crafter is doing a little bit of damage there as well, but just that initiation, we talked about it just a little bit, but there it is in action. So much damage down already onto Kenshin this early.
Yeah, and they're now getting pushed off of minions completely. They're not quite going to get pushed off of the experience because it's going to get pushed under the tower, but now farming under tower already gonna be rough.
I like how when we were focused on the mid lane for a little bit, we saw how Bjergsen was throwing in those auto attacks, weaving them in and out, stacking up the passive and dealing extra damage to is that Arakite? Yeah, Arakite.
Speaking of TSM Bjergsen putting down the ward in the Raptor pit.
I'm going to say it. Foil hat on. That's him. I'm just going to throw it out there, guys.
We just got Bjergsen.
I mean, that'd be great. I hope so. But if it's not, that's okay. We still like seeing our new players and on these new teams. But those levels of plays are really strong. Aetherbug is here, slow from Plock onto Mr. X. He goes into the Lightning Rush, flash forward into the Disdain, into all the spells, but holding the flash for the right time, he makes it out. Mr. X is alive.
All right. Still no kills left, and we're just looking to try to get whatever advantage we can, but Kindred is ahead in the jungle right now.
Look at the health difference in the mid lane, and we can get a little bit wider view if we zoom out here on the map. There we go. We can see everything going here. Look at the way that Bjergsen has been able to keep his resource bar high and continue to poke down Arakite. He's up almost 10 CS. He has mana. He's almost full health. Like this mid lane is really, really strong for the Mithril Knights.
Recall. And so that recall isn't just because you can. Stopping somebody from recalling has a lot of benefit where you just get a little bit more time to play with the wave, play with the minions, and push it under turret. This is going to be a very good back. It forces the teleport. It's going to be very good back from Orianna when it happens.
I like the pressure that Silver Smashers is putting on the bottom side. The Lover's Lane is very strong. They're designed to be in a lane together, and they're using the pressure of the Nautilus crowd control and the utility of the Ash to really pressure Mithril Knights underneath their own turret.
Yeah, and we have Kindred Mark going on to the Raptors, and Aderbug just jumps on that very quickly. They got pinged out quick. Right now, Mithril Knights ahead in gold as a team, just barely, but right now it's a lot of gold ahead in Kindred and gold ahead in Oriana. Right now, here's an engage in the mid lane.
Aderberg forces out another flash. Grumpy trying to get some damage onto Aderbug. We have to remember where the marks are. Flash forward, Aderbug jumps in, and it's first blood for Grumpy. Bjergsen is still alive, gets a slow onto Arakite. Chasing in, does still have the flash, not wanting to use it on that target.
All right, we have... Oh,
but another fight here onto Kenshin. There's the battle dance into the grand entrance, getting the shields onto Kenshin, pulling in the feathers. Sly Pie has to flash. Ignite is down. Crafter does pick up the kill. There's the crowd control we talked about. Crafter in some trouble, gets the barrier popped, and it's a double kill on the bottom side for the Silver Smashers.
That is the big break to start this game. Oh, it hasn't stopped.
Aderbug jumps in with the counter strike. He should have that up in just a little bit, but he doesn't have anything else. He jumps in one more time with the leaf strike, but Crafter's on a killing spree.
Oh, felt a little bit too confident with the Sheen going into the bot lane, and what's the play there? Do you stick onto the Nautilus and then just give him some free damage onto you and slowly walk at Ash? That was the decision that was made. I don't know if it was the worse or better one, but it didn't end well. Bjergsen getting jumped on.
Arakite dealing some decent damage here. But again, look at our resource bars. Bjergsen is staying pretty healthy. He's got mana to continue the fight, throws in the shockwave, but he is getting ganked. Arakite really low. Bjergsen gets even lower. He's underneath the turret, shields himself at 40 health, stays alive.
Just barely. Bjergsen just getting out. That would have been a huge break for Arakite there to be able to get that. What we are...
good to see more fights on the bottom side here. Sly Pie is ready to follow up on that arrow. Kenshin, the target, ignited, rooted, killed. Grumpy picks that one up. And Thrall is down, and that's a huge play from the Silver Smashers, and they can rotate directly to the Drake.
Yep, and that's they get ahead from the early fight, and now they're able to take another win in the bot lane, get an objective, and now this is going to start the snowball. This is how League is played. You take your little wins and start converting that into more. However, I do want to point out, Mithril Knights may be behind right now, but they are doing a lot to stay in the game. They're not contesting that dragon. They don't have to. They're going to just go back into lane and get the thing. There's a huge chase. I don't hate this. Mr. X is going right into Bjergsen's hands, but the heroic entrance comes in. Mr. X gets hit with the Fear Beyond Death. The sphere goes onto Arakite. Meanwhile, Plock is dealing decent damage. He does have Conqueror. He's healing. He gets the shield from Bjergsen. Arakite is trying to get the damage onto Plock. Flash over the wall. Bjergsen gets the kill, and that's 2 over to the side of MK. I was wrong. For some reason, I mixed up my map size. I was like, well, you're chasing into the lane. Oh, no, you ran into the wrong side. And yeah, that made sense to chase a lot more. For some reason, I had got my red team, blue team mixed up and thought you were chasing them into the enemy jungle. But no, you were chasing them into your own jungle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to help him come back for sure. Plus, that Fear Beyond Death, huge. One of the coolest abilities in the game, in my opinion.
Ooh, that flash was critical. Kenshin cannot afford to lose yet another wave underneath this turret.
Yeah.
Especially with the positioning of Nautilus. Sly Pie was ready to hook right after that arrow hit. So good job from Kenshin realizing that he had no other choice. And MK stay alive for a little bit longer. Mr. X dodges out the disdain. Still takes a good chunk, probably about a fifth of his hit points. Plock doing decent here. He's low on the CS, but he's keeping up with the Kennen in terms of experience. Arakite going in for Bjergsen. Vision in...
Stay off my ward, but nah. I don't think I will. Oh!
And it goes to Shockwave into Dissonance. Big damage. Bjergsen going to shove Arakite out of the lane. No, he's going to hang out.
Yeah, he's going to pick up at least the low minions up front. And
all right, and that's going to be a second plate for Bjergsen. The pressure here in the mid is huge.
Yeah, we have a roam from Plock. He wants to get this kill.
Fear Beyond Death, and he gets it. Oh, the execute power of the Urgot ultimate is so much fun to watch. I agree with you. It's one of the coolest abilities in the game. It's also anyone who has not been hit by and executed by a Fear Beyond Death, give it a try.
On your screen.
Dude, it is terrifying, legitimately. Yeah. Aetherbug is in some trouble. He dodges out the Ash Arrow, but has to flash. That means it's going to be Grubs over to the side of the Silver Smashers. That's going to be all 6, in fact.
Yep, that's going to be big plays coming from a lot of fights on Bjergsen down.
I got distracted. I saw my name in the Twitch chat, and I didn't even watch what happened.
I had to do play-by-play for a second. What's happening here?
I'm a fool.
Fighting the bot lane.
Kenshin is under fire here. Nice route onto Crafter to stop that aggression, but from the river, in comes the Sly Pie. He does not have the ultimate. Kenshin does have his, doesn't have the arrow pullback, doesn't get the root, but is still alive.
Feathers.
Yeah, I knew what I meant.
She was getting shot by arrows, though.
I knew what I meant.
Which is why it was rough. I knew what you meant, too, which is why I said it.
Yes. Thank you for the help. And, Proden, yes, it is a dream come true to cast a Bjergsen game. That's so cool. All right, Arakite, in some trouble. Bjergsen and Aetherbug are here. He has the ball. They get the ultimate. Arakite goes... Oh, my gosh, he got to 80 health. And then Grumpy picks up the kill.
Good play to pick that up from Frag, Mr. X, to use the teleport to come in because he had pushed in his lane. Oh no, his lane is pushed in. I'm mixing it up again. What is happening to me?
It's okay. It's late.
I guess.
Ooh, nice backstop there.
Once again, stopping the backs.
Look at the pressure. Oh, I think Kenshin might be dead here. That's the root. He has no ult. He has no flash. He has no barrier. Trying to do as much damage as he can. But Estro, and yeah, no turret. Literally nothing left. A dangerous position to be in, and he gets punished for it.
Yep. Just nice, clean kill from the Silver Surfers? What? Silver Smashers. That's what it is. I'm like, what is this team name? Need to keep track of all these team names.
We need to watch. Is this Grumpy's mark here? They've got big fights coming here in the middle. Aetherbug is hit with the Nautilus ultimate into the cannon. Mr. X doing a great job here. Estrogen is not able to make it out. Grumpy goes on a rampage. That was the lollipop of the century. Bjergsen is caught, but he makes it out. Plock has joined the fight, as has Kenshin. Fear Beyond Death hits the Sly Pie. Not enough damage, but the slow is huge. Do they have enough to deal the damage enough for the execute? Plock actually gets caught by the Sly Pie. He gets the Titan's Wrath to stay alive. Plock goes down. Kenshin, rooted, throws into the ultimate, pulls back the feathers, and he makes it out. But it is disaster for Mithril Knights.
That's it. They tried to disengage and say, you know, we'll take Dragon, and Mithril Knights decided, well, we'll try to contest. Doesn't quite go their way. And I think a big reason for that is when Flock lands the Fear Beyond Death. Oh, here comes...
Sly Pie is in some trouble. He's tanky for a little bit with that W, but not enough. Aetherbug helps get the kill there.
All right, never mind. Mithril Knights are going to take this dragon.
I love that.
Earlier when Flock lands the Fear Beyond Death, there was hesitation to try to get I believe, Ericite below the threshold for the execute. Enough where they decided to go in when it was far too late and then die for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Bjergsen saw from the beginning, held out in the back, one, because it's like, okay, well, we're not going to be able to get that, and two, I'm marked by Kindred. I don't want to go in and get focused on.
Exactly.
Everybody on the Silver Smashers are watching for that. Grump really wants these stacks, and they want to shut down Bjergsen. So that's that was a lot of the decision making around that play.
So speaking of Observer, if we could get a look at Kindred real quick. Never mind, we've got our fight here as the flash forward from Mr. X, but the crowd control is layered beautifully. Estrogen just saved him. Oh my gosh, Bjergsen almost made it out of that. Estrogen also did, but there was just too much crowd control. Crafter was able to get in there close and pick up those kills. Aetherbug stops Plock's death here, but is it enough? Sly Pie is already in. Miss on the disdain. Aetherbug does take the chickens to deny the mark. Misses the flash, jumps in, and it's another kill over to Grumpy. And let's see, 4 marks completed. First threshold.
Yeah, that's the first threshold. You are able to get more attack speed, you get attack speed each time. You get more attack range on the threshold. That's the big threshold on the 4, and then every 3 after that. However, missed out on getting the stack on Bjergsen. Was not in the proper position for that, but that's okay. It had some really good plays.
Bjergsen, yeah, he finds Grumpy, and Grumpy's like, "No, thank you." You're my mark, but
none of that.
That was really interesting. So speaking of interesting, I don't know if anybody else caught it. The Sly Pie was trying to hook. Never mind, we're gonna have to fight here. Aetherbug gets taunted, but then stuns Ericite. In comes the rest of everybody. A teleport from Mr. X. Leap strike out. Oh my, Bjergsen takes a lot of damage, gets stunned into the knockup, big damage down onto Mr. X. Bjergsen is ignited, he dies. Aetherbug is the next target, he dies. Estrogen flashes away, doesn't get the W onto the E onto Kenshin. And now Kenshin is underneath the turret against the front line of the Silver Smashers. Plock has made his way up to the top side. Fear Beyond Death is available. He landed onto Mr. X. Flash forward from Kenshin. Does he have enough damage to kill the Sly Pie? Throws out the ultimate, pulls the feathers. He doesn't land them. They were too spread apart from the cast. They are on the chase. The Sly Pie is very low, down at 120 hit points. Changes the aggression. Goes on to Kenshin. Ults on to Plock. Plock flashes forward to pick up the kill. Grumpy unable to get the ultimate down in time. Lamster Spite does not save his ally. Plock now taking the full wrath of Crafter's auto attacks, and Grumpy goes legendary on the Kindred.
The chase that just ended in disaster. This is going to be the end of kind of the end game for the Mithril Knights in this round. There we have Grump picking up the Herald on what's it? The Eye of the Herald. That's what I'm trying to think of. Also, I got distracted because I finally heard it. The name, Rukan's
Which one?
Username.
Yeah, Estrogen.
Yeah, I just now understand.
when I actually read through it the first time, I was like, "Oh, hey, I know what that is." I said it wrong at first, but then I went back for it.
I kept seeing that as 2 words, and now, yeah, that's really funny.
Okay, while we're talking about Estrogen, oh my gosh, please, Mr. X, could you? I've got 3 people in the chat trying to tell me they want to hear what I want to say. Mr. X makes it out at 8 health, but does Bjergsen make it out? Sly Pie is there. He gets the movement speed from the command dissonance. No, there's no way that hits!
How?
Oh, the lollipop is insane. The Sly Pie should get everybody's vote for MVP this game. Archive.
fishing and caught the big one.
Oh my gosh.
Pearson 2 and 4. This is not looking good for Mithril Knights. Their carry is like picked up a kill, but then just didn't leave. Should have left.
We got the 1v2 gank here. Sly Pie gets the crowd control into Arakite's ultimate, and they go right onto the Lover's Lane on the bottom side. The quickness keeping them alive for just a little bit, but Kenshin is down 2, and Grumpy stays legendary as they move down to the Drake.
It is dragon time, and nobody's going to contest, which probably pretty smart. And then Baron has just spawned, as we see on the screen. Well, unless there's dragon, but then there's also a fight going on.
There's a fight going on down here. Plock is in some trouble. He doesn't have flash. I think he's just gonna die here. Godlike is Edge Crafter. Oh, that's what the EJ is Edge. He's an Edge Crafter. Huh. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but
I don't know. I don't think that's what it means.
It sounds like a thing.
We'll have to ask him.
Okay. Pearson takes a turret on the top side. Crafter gets what he needs. And, okay. Nautilus was going to hook the wall, but Rakan jumped in front of him and absorbed the hook underneath the turret. It was really cool. That's what I was trying to say. That was now 8 minutes ago. I'm sorry.
Server Panda calling out that Nautilus is 2 and 20 assists. That is a lot of kill participation.
Yeah, 22 out of 24 is really, really big. They have to watch for this Kennen, though. He's on the other side. They got the vision. Okay, so they know that he is there.
That would have been the end of the game, probably.
Absolutely.
That. At least cracking the base into Baron, and we have
Aderbug
engage.
Aderbug goes in onto Arakite, gets the ultimate, gets the stun on top of the taunt. So he's got Trinity Force. He does a decent amount of damage. Arakite does not have a turret to which he can fall back, and he is tanky enough with that Hollow Radiance that, oh no, it's another Plock assassination with the ultimate. Dude, this guy landing those gigantic, terrifying spears from all the way down the map.
Not only
look at the rotation. He's going the wrong way. Rakan with the wrong way. Plock is going to try and save Bjergsen. He goes in against 3, trying to proc the Conqueror. Jumping forward, Mr. X gets the stun onto Bjergsen. He's trying to get away. There is another lollipop from downtown, and the Sly Pie secures a 20-second assist.
Woo! This Nautilus doesn't know how to miss.
Gosh. All right, and that's going to be Baron. Look at our kindred marks here. 8. That's 2 full thresholds plus an extra. They've got good damage. Arakite is going to try and stop the interrupt. Aderbug is here. Crafter does a lot of damage. Can't do it through the counter-strike. He flashes over the wall directly into the waiting bow and arrows of Grumpy. They secure the Baron, and now TSS are resetting to use their buff.
Mr. X goes down to Baron. They stopped Baron doing Baron damage. Then Aderbug jumps in, thinking it's like, oh, it should be close to dead now. No, it's not. They stopped doing damage, and now you're dead, and we can just pick up the rest of the Baron. So they lose Mr. X for that, but they're able to pick up a solid buff.
Really big plays coming out of TSS. Look at their control. They have 2 Drakes. They have the Baron. They got 6 Grubs. They got the Rift Herald. Wait, nobody got the Rift Herald this game.
No, they did. We called it out. With Eye of the Herald was on Kindred. They placed it in mid lane at some point.
Oh,
it not a lot happened with it.
Okay, I'm trying to think how I missed that though. I was probably thinking about Rakan catching a Nautilus hook or something like that, but regardless, I missed it. Here comes the invade. Grumpy going in with Sly Pie onto Bjergsen. He is down very early in the fight. Crafter is really low. Look at that shield. It was crazy. In the Lamb's Respite, Estrogen does survive. Kenshin flashes away. Aderbug gets the kill onto Crafter. Grumpy goes in. He gets a triple kill by securing the kill onto the Jax. And that's a big Kindred.
Yep, that Kindred is big. How many stacks does Kindred have right now? 11.
Oh my gosh.
8. What?
He got a jungle camp something. It has to be. Oh, wait, doesn't the Baron count for a stack, though?
Only if it's marked, not all the time.
Okay.
But it was probably
had to
marked
be.
at the time. I was trying to check, but there were a lot of champion portraits on it at the same time. Base is cracked. Baron buff. How long is this Baron buff? Let's click on a champion.
I think it's 3 minutes.
Well, how long is it left? Baron buff.
Oh, Kennen was dead.
Oh, nope. We picked the wrong one. Okay,
there we go. Okay, so it's got a quarter left. Yeah. A great showing here out of the Silver Smashers. They're doing a great job pressuring where they need to. They really did a number on the bottom lane. Poor Kenshin.
Yeah.
0-5 here. That's not what you want your marksman to be at, and it's all because of the pressure that the Smashers have put down there.
Yes, and Dragon is now up. This is the last Hail Mary play. Oh my goodness!
What are these hooks? Sly Pie just ruining everything for the Mithril Knights. He grabs another one. Aetherbug is going to get the counter strike and then the leap strike out, but still.
They say there are plenty of fish in the sea, not after Sly Pie got to them.
Yeah. It's crazy. I understand that there are 2 hitboxes for the hook, but this is just bananas. He is hitting so many of these hooks.
I don't think I've seen him miss yet.
Yeah. I play Nautilus, and I don't think that should be possible. Here we go. The flash forward from Mr. X. Bjergsen is hit really, really hard. He doesn't have the Zanyas yet, but Erikite does do quite a lot of damage here, keeping Kenshin out of the fight. Estrogen is caught. Feathers will root some in place, but it's not enough. Teleport coming in. Plock has joined the fight, but super waves are already in the base. Kenshin is low. Mr. X might... Oh, wait, no. Crafter gets hit with the Fear Beyond Death. The Fear is going to land, but it doesn't matter. That's the ace in favor of the Silver Smashers. They're going to smash that turret. They're going to smash this Nexus, and they are going to smash this game.
Oh, goodness. MVP of the game has got to be Sly Pie.
Absolutely.